covering news that matters. Fox 23 News at 5:30 starts right now.
We start at 5:30 with a Fox 23 investigation into the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority, planning now to pony up $72 million of your toll money to fix the infamous roller coaster bridge. Thanks for joining us. I'm Shay Rozzi.
And I'm Nathan Thompson. It's the part of Creek Turnpike between South Tulsa and Broken Arrow. It's so bouncy, some people say it feels like you're on a roller coaster. Tulsa's investigative reporter Janet Clark asked the Turnpike Authority why now, because they told her 10 years ago they didn't plan to fix the bouncy bridge.
In her follow-up Fox 23 investigation, Janet tells us the reason why OTA changed their minds and why an engineer says he's not surprised that bridge has issues.
If you drive on the Creek Turnpike between South Tulsa and Broken Arrow,
we got a problem.
You know why it got the nickname Roller Coaster Bridge. The bouncy bridge.
It is a bouncy bridge.
Randy Smith took me for a drive on this bridge a decade ago.
It's almost like it's just doing this.
I'm sure it wasn't designed to go bouncy.
Were you here when they were building it?
Yes, I was.
So it's been like this since the beginning?
Yes, it has.
The Turnpike Authority opened up the bridge to drivers in 2001. It cost $20 million of your toll money to build it.
What did you think when you drove on it?
We have a problem.
We all pay to drive on it, and it cost a lot to build it.
It did. We expected a bridge that was smooth, and what we got was not.
In 2015, the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority assured me the bridge was safe and wrote, "There is nothing wrong with the bridge, except that it is bouncy." But the Turnpike Authority also admitted to me back then the bridge wasn't built right. They wrote, "The bridge was designed to have the beams basically settle more than they actually did when concrete was poured onto the structure. Unfortunately, the beams did not, and therefore you have the rolls in the bridge." Now the Turnpike Authority plans to fix the bridge. The Turnpike Authority announced it last month. I posted about it on my Facebook page, and it caught the eye of an engineer.
When you posted that note on Facebook, I'm like, well, it doesn't surprise me at all that this thing's not built right, because we had all this crap going on back then.
He asked me not to use his name nor show his face in this story.
Some of what was going on back then was like illegal, and there's some kind of dicey things going on, so I'd prefer not to be identified.
The engineer says he oversaw some of the construction work on the roller coaster bridge more than 20 years ago.
I was responsible for watching the bridges to make sure that they were constructed correctly.
The engineer isn't claiming the bridge is unsafe. He's just pointing out why he's not surprised it's bouncy. Back in 2000, when the bridge was being built, he was still a college intern trying to finish his degree. He said his Tulsa engineering firm, FBS Engineers, was swamped with jobs, so they gave him and other engineers several bridge projects to oversee at the same time, including portions of Roller Coaster Bridge. So you were doing an internship for that company?
Yeah, it was kind of a stretch for me because I've never done anything before, and now I've got like 3 or 4 job sites that I'm responsible for.
He said back then, the construction company that won the bid had only been in business a short time, since 1998.
They came in, they underbid everything.
I checked, and that's true. The company called Interstate Contracting underbid the next lowest bid by more than $1.3 million. The Turnpike Authority told me there are exceptions, but typically it's protocol to accept the lowest bid. They wrote this in an email. It is a low bid process, assuming their bids meet the standards set forth by the OTA. The engineer says Interstate Contracting was not only inept, they were unethical.
What they were doing is they were cutting all these corners and all this other kind of stuff to try to get everything built. The contractor would be like, well, we can't get this piece of rebar, this piece of steel in because the designs, it doesn't work very well. And he's like, yeah, just leave it out.
The engineer says the worker who said, yeah, just leave it out, was an inspector, not a licensed engineer.
He only had a high school education and he was watching the stuff.
The engineer says even though he was young and inexperienced, he tried to hold the contractors accountable, but they didn't make it easy.
I was scared out of my mind. I was like over my head, in a lot of ways. It was awful. I mean, like not only were they doing that, but then the pressure to look the other way was really bad too. Like screaming at us, threats of physical violence. I got chased one time by one of the contractors who was going to beat the crap out of me and take my camera.
You said you felt pressure. What do you mean?
I'll give you some examples. Like the owner of the contractor company would get in my face and start screaming profanities, tell me that I must need to change my diaper, lots of F words.
The cost to fix Roller Coaster Bridge, $72 million of your toll money. to replace all the 484 concrete beams, fix the walls, and update the concrete decking. The Turnpike Authority says the almost 25-year-old bridge needed work anyway. 21% of the price tag to fix it pays to smooth out the bouncy feel. That's more than $13 million.
While we're there doing those other updates, it just makes sense to go ahead and address that rideability.
So it's a little bit of both. It's some structure issues that need to be addressed, and we're going to go ahead and address the bounciness.
That's right.
The engineer says the construction workers got way behind on the project, and his own boss put pressure on him too.
He was telling me the state of Oklahoma needs this bridge constructed, and we got to start approving this stuff because they're so far behind.
A few years later, his former boss got into big trouble.
He went to prison for bribery with the government officials.
Check this out. The former president of the Tulsa engineering firm FBS Inc. went to federal prison in 2010 for a year for bribing a Tulsa public works official. He pled guilty and admitted to paying a $7,500 bribe to a former Tulsa Public Works field engineering manager to influence the awarding of a city contract to FBS Inc. On top of prison time, a judge ordered he pay a $10,000 fine and restitution to the city of Tulsa, $105,000. The U.S. Attorney's Office says the bribery and fraud schemes involved millions of dollars intended for city streets, bridges, and other public works projects in the city of Tulsa.
Even back then, he was telling me, you got to get good at golf because that's how you're going to get contracts, and you need to take these officials out for golf.
The engineer says he told the construction company and his engineering supervisor about the problems he saw, but he has no way of knowing if those concerns were passed on to the Turnpike Authority. The Turnpike Authority said they did have a contract with Interstate, but not with FBS engineers. I checked with the Oklahoma Secretary of State's office, and the construction company, Interstate Contracting, went out of business in 2006. FBS Engineers, Inc. also closed its doors. Turns out they were shut down because of a suspension by the Oklahoma Tax Commission in 2015.
There's all this kind of crazy stuff going on, you know?
The engineer says he finished his engineering degree, but moved out of state and took a different career path.
Went back to school for a master's and changed my field because it was kind of bonkers what was going on back then. I was like, I don't want to deal with this stuff anymore.
Covering news that matters. Jana Clark, Fox 23 News.
Now, we were set to air this story last week, but the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority reached out to Jana. They said they wanted an opportunity to address the engineer's allegations. Jana spoke to the Turnpike Authority on the phone and explained what the engineer says he witnessed.
And we did hear back from OTA this afternoon. They said in part, quote, the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority has inspectors on site during a construction project, and it is their job to catch errors or any improprieties. The rideability or galloping issue was discovered before the bridge is opened, and it was determined to not pose a safety hazard to the public. We want to reassure the public that the bridges are safe for travel and have been safe throughout their 24-year history. You can read the Turnpike Authority's entire statement in this story on FOX23.com.
Do you have a tip or issue that you think Jana Clark should investigate? Let us know. Email FOX23 Investigates at FOX23.com or call 918-388-5354 or search Fox 23 Jana Clark on Facebook.